Hey, what's going on, guys? Guns here. Now, I understand that this video is not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. Um, if you get to a point where you just can't handle to listen to what I'm saying, there's a button that you could press, and you could be watching something else. Now, a lot of people, they like to try to silence your opinions that you may have by saying, I'm in sports or I'm in cards to get away from politics or to get away from problems. Well, that's wonderful. But a lot of us adults like to talk about certain situations. There is no politics hobby that we jump into. There's not a place for it. We just go about our lives, we do our things, and we're able to have normal conversations. And last time I checked, this is a free country. And so, we're allowed to talk about whatever we want. So here I am. I have some things that I'm having a hard time with. I'm sure a bunch of other people probably are too, because I'm a pretty cerebral person with things. I could understand why certain things are happening, and I've been having a hard time lately. We got things flying in the skies that our military is shooting down. Not one, but multiple. So the first one, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I'm far from perfect. I try to gather what I can. And try to think about it from those areas. But there may be a story that I didn't see or didn't hear, or somebody on the ground, actually giving us information that maybe I just wasn't privy to. So discussions can definitely be had. In the replies for anybody who wants to. And, sometimes discussions aren't the friendliest thing when people see things different ways, and that's okay too. I mean, we all root for different sports teams. Say fuck your Chiefs, and someone might say fuck my Raiders, and guess what? We go about our lives. Nobody's stabbing each other. We're good. There's obviously a huge divide in our country today, so people are going to think different. I don't hate you for what you think. I don't hate you because of who you voted for. And I would hope that you wouldn't hate me either. But if you decided that you did want to hate me for my views, well, then now I don't like you. And it's not because of who you voted for. It's because of your character. It's because of who you are. The fact that you dislike me for a reason that I would never dislike you. So we got that. So we got stuff in the air that we're shooting. One of them came down and went all the way across our country, across our silos, our nuclear silos, right across that whole state. And so, we don't want to shoot it down because we don't want it to land on somebody and hurt somebody. Well, since then, I'm hearing we've shot down like 4 different ones right where they be at. So, I mean, we're shooting stuff down in Ohio. You got some kind of train derailment where some World War I, like, gases and shit are going everywhere, and people are saying going into the water, and people who actually live there are saying that, like, in the streams and the lakes and stuff, like, there's like a sheen on top of the water, and fish are just bellied up, just dead. There is a lot of stuff that is going on that's crazy. You got a Musk who, a guy named, Elon Musk, who, it's a whole different story talking about him and buying Twitter, but he bought Twitter and has been releasing so much information about contacts with the heads of Twitter and branches of our government, and silencing people and getting rid of people and silencing information that we should have had. And I'm wondering when people look, I don't care who you voted for, right? Like you voted for who you voted for, but at this point, aren't people kind of like something's not right? Something is not right. People are very vocal when it goes a different direction. What's stopping people from being so vocal now? Like, I'm a Raider fan, right? Like, I root for my Raiders. But fuck the Raiders right now because of what they did to Derek Carr. Like, I could say I don't appreciate how my organization did a player. I'm not going to be like, fuck Carr, da-da-da, it's Raider for life. I don't care. Like, I can question and say, I don't like that. That wasn't okay. I don't respect that. How come other people aren't stepping up and saying stuff right now with what's going on? Oh, you're against it. You must be a Trumper. No, I'm not. Did I vote for him? Yeah. But here's the deal, is that just because this roll of tape comes out and says that it is passionate or it cares about all the things that I've been passionate about for years, doesn't mean that I'm a taper. Okay? That just means that I'm this, and then this was put here. That way you could put it over the whole group and call us this. Okay? I'm not a Trumper, especially not in the sense of what people say that it is. But I'm definitely not with this neocon, old guard group and what's going on. I don't trust none of it. It's all connected. If you look at it and you look at everything, look at Canada taking away the guns, what they're trying to do here to us. Mass shootings. Oh, mass shootings everywhere. Do the math on the mass shootings. Take away the suicides and do the math of the percentage of Americans that get killed per year. And, I know I've said this before, but it's like 0.0000 something percent. It's not even 1%. It sure the fuck ain't 5, 10, 15, or 60%. It's 0.00000 and then a number. That's worth you getting rid of your right to protect yourself. Now, maybe you don't care. Maybe you're so locked in. Maybe they've done what they've needed to do to you up here that you don't think about it or care, or you somehow think that everything's just going to be okay. But what about your kids? What about them? What if you died of a heart attack tomorrow? What if you voted to take away all these rights and then you fucking died tomorrow and left your children and your wife to fend for themselves? Isn't that kind of scary to think about? I wish people would have these kind of conversations more, because I think it needs to happen. Like, I know that I don't know everything. And I find it fucking comical that there are a bunch of people who somehow think that they got it all right and that they know everything, and that you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to ask questions. Look at your life. I don't need to point out certain people. Look at your life. Is your life good? Is your life great? Then how the fuck do you know everything? You don't. You have to understand that. And so because they tell you to silence everybody, you want to silence everybody and be mad at everybody for a difference of opinion. I think that we forget what men are. We forget what men are supposed to be. They're supposed to be strong, and that should be okay. They're supposed to have pride, and that should be okay. They should have a little bit of to them, and that should be okay. But I'm not seeing that from a lot of people, and that fucking scares me. Because I'm going to even raise my daughter to have some of that. And if you don't have none of that, and you're not going to raise your kid to have some of that, well, my daughter's got to protect your son. Like, people need to start looking into things, man. And you need to look places other than the one or two news stations that you check out. You know, here's something scary. Alex Jones, right? Like, I know he said some off the wall shit, but do you realize that this man just got sued for everything he has and more for speech? Okay, so everybody talks Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade. Okay, so you understand what Roe v. Wade is, right? All right, so with what just happened to Alex Jones, do you realize that they can go and cite that court case to fuck you for saying something? And we just gonna let it happen because we don't like Alex Jones? I mean, you know, I'd argue that motherfucker was probably more right about some stuff than a lot of y'all were, than a lot of y'all are about shit, than even I am about shit. It sure does seem like when you go back and you look at some of his stuff, you're kind of like, wow, in a weird kind of way, that's actually true right now. That's kind of true today. And nobody thought it was possible back then. I need you to know that the people that you don't even want to battle, but the people that are battling you, they've been doing this shit for years. And there's other stuff you need to look at, man, like the Smith-Mundt Act, right? Like, you know, and this isn't a knock at Obama. I'm just saying, under Obama's thing, a lot of Republicans voted for it too, okay? But man, back in the day, that act used to protect them from playing psychological war games with you. And once they got rid of that, now they could do whatever they want. They could talk about things. They could do a false flag fucking UFO attack. And I know, man, people, oh man, Jimmy, you're crazy. None of that shit's ever gonna happen. Da-da-da. Guess what? A lot of the stuff that people thought could be possible 20 years ago, a lot of people were like, that's never going to happen. And it's a little different now today, don't you think? No? Oh, just me? Fuck. If you don't notice that something very, very weird is happening right now, you have your head so shoved in the ground and you're going, la, 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 la. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I mean, bro, they're still trying to... I don't even want to get on this one because everybody should be able to do what they want with this kind of information, right? How much about that thing is different now all of a sudden. Now they haven't came right out and just been like, yeah, da da da. But if you're a person like me that has been watching some of these testimonies, some of these not trials, but testimonies in front of the grand juries and all this shit that people saying, we weren't given this information. Now, I understand I'm human as well, man. I'm petty. I like to argue. I could argue my fact face to face until I'm right, or until I make you feel like I'm right in a lot of situations. So I understand not wanting to admit that you might have been wrong on something. But on that, don't you feel like maybe you might have been a little bit wrong? Maybe you made a bad decision for yourself, and even worse, you tried to make decisions for others? Like, that right there should let you know, fuck, I don't know shit. Maybe I should fucking not talk about it anymore. There's a lot of craziness going on, man, and I wish more people would wake up and man, figure it the fuck out. Do you realize in Oregon they banned, what was it, November, I tried to go buy a couple guns down at the Bi-Mart. And they're like, yeah, well, we don't know what's going on, so we can't give you the guns. You're on our waiting list. Oh, well, fuck, I have a CCW, and I already have a bunch of guns. What do you, like, I'm vetted. Like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, no, well, shit, social number 30,000. It was in November. I just called them 2 days ago. I'm finally number 500. Months. Not buying a gun. Like, the people of Oregon voted in a law that wasn't even written. This is how fucking dumb people are. And I don't mean to, fuck, when I talk, I'll say fucking dumb, and I know that it's hurtful to say that, but I just need you to know that I mean that. I mean that. Fucking dumb. We're just believing the shit that they're saying. We've gotten to a point where we can't even question what's on the news anymore. You can't even go, nah, something's wrong there. Something's wrong there. And you'll be like, well, what are you, a fucking Trumper? Wait, what the fuck? No, I just said that fucking, I don't like this. That doesn't make sense. Why does that make me a crazy? And all you who are Trumpers, everybody likes to point out fucking Biden and his voice, and his son's laptop, and his daughter's diary, talking about she showers with her dad. Weird. You got to ask about Trump's son-in-law, and about the building 666 was the address, and how was it the Saudis ended up saving him and renting one floor and paid him 100 years in advance so he could pay off the loan for the bill. Like, there's things going on both sides. Don't get it twisted. I'm no Republican, man, and I'm certainly not a Democrat. And man, a lot of you who are like old 80s Democrats, like normal motherfuckers, you guys are looked at as racist Trumpers right now. If you even spoke, if you weren't just so quiet and just if you even spoke, that's how you're going to be looked at, because they're making normal people be the fucking enemy right now. Fucking wake up, please, please. I don't know what's going on though. What do you guys think? We got shit? You think they're just fucking talking about things in the sky that we can't see? For what? I don't know, man. There's some craziness going on. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared. Okay. I mean, I don't just live in fear, but when I sit and I think about it, I went clean my guns 2 weeks ago. You guys should too. If you haven't in a while, clean your shit. Make sure your stuff's ready. Kind of just know where it's at. I went and bought a generator. It's a dual fuel generator. It runs on propane and gas. Gas goes bad after a year. Propane, you can fill the tank up. That'll last 20 years. I did cattle last year, so I got freezers full of meat. Where I live, my water table is 5 feet, so I can dig a 5-foot hole. I got water. I just hope people are at least like thinking about the possibilities of something that can happen, especially if you have children, especially if you have anybody who considers and looks at you as a man. I just hope that you're supposed to protect, be that an aging parent, or your kids, or your wife, or any family that just thinks you're a man. I hope that I hope it doesn't happen, but I hope that if shit goes down, you're able to be a man for them, because that's how they look at you. And it's going to be real crazy when all you could do is go, ah! I don't know, because you weren't ready either, or because you didn't care to look, or because somebody would try to talk about it inside of your hobby, and you would say, get the fuck out of here. We're not here to talk about that. These are things people need to fucking talk about. Anyways, I rambled. It's 18 minutes. Fuck, should I even rewatch this? I don't know. Before I post it, be a light in someone's life, man. I love you. Guns out.